Stop the car. Roll down the window and stop the car. You are being stopped. Stop the car.
Welcome back to Advocacy, Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today we have a good one, guys. This case takes us to the Cincinnati suburbs for a wild, high-speed chase that starts, well, in the most unexpected place, a Gorilla Glue parking lot. What begins as a routine tag check quickly exploded into a dangerous pursuit across business lots, neighborhood streets, and finally Interstate 275. We got fleeing suspects, a crashed cruiser, strip spikes, and felony level charges all packed into one pursuit. So with that, let's jump in.
For 722 a stop. Be in the parking lot of Gorilla Glue off of Canal with Ohio. Henry Charles Nora 6547 returns to a Chevy. It's on a Hyundai SUV. Stop. Stop.
Stop the car. Roll down the window and stop the car. You are being stopped. Stop the car. Okay, well, you gotta wait for a second. Turn the car off. Turn the car off. Stop moving. No, stop moving.
We're same 22. They just struck my vehicle and they're fleeing now. Fleeing back onto Canal from Gorilla Glue. Looks like they're gonna be going northbound on Canal towards Chester. Don't have a speed yet. I'm still leaving the parking lot. It's a blue Hyundai Sonata. It's occupied and operated by a black female and a white male in the passenger seat. We're gonna be headed eastbound onto Kemper.
Up here by Enterprise. Neil, they're coming our way. On a 76 here.
Cruise speeds are 65, continuing and approaching the southern.
There's a Shambill, northbound now straight here. No Gorilla Glue.
North onto disregard, continuing east on Kemper in the wrong lanes.
You said eastbound still, correct?
Yup.
Alright, I'm coming up on Reading.
22, we're still eastbound, approaching Reading. Eastbound on Kemper, approaching Reading, speeds are 80.
Where else is it up on my PD?
Full gas top 6.
22, we turned left onto Enterprise, headed north on Enterprise near Scarlet Oaks.
Side strike to your cruiser, what else do you want to do?
Traffic only.
We're going to be able to get a tag on it. The boss filler, Zach.
Henry Charles Nora 6547. It's fictitious. It's on a blue Hyundai. It returns to a Chevy.
I'm behind you, Howell. Where are you at?
We're continuing. She's about to dead end here on Enterprise. We're continuing on Enterprise. They're about to dead end out here at 11915 Enterprise, I believe.
That's there.
I'm going to be with them.
Simply when it's there and it's dead in the Enterprise.
Yep, we're continuing. We're back in the parking lot of Qtol Products, KULTOL. Continuing in the direction of Monticello. I think we're going to be getting back onto Enterprise. Yeah, back on a partnership from Qtol. Going through the business parking lot right now.
That's through the last 60 miles.
They just ran off the road, going into the parking lot. Stand by. They're rolling through the parking lot of USUI.
They're continuing to the line of USUI.
Still back into the parking lot of Qtol. Almost hit another officer.
There's another.
Go back out, Enterprise, Bruce 6 out there. This is going back around on an Enterprise.
Yep, we're headed back to Enterprise, back where they originally entered into Qtol. We're going back that way.
Somebody can get fixed on Enterprise.
I'll call it from here on second car. When you on Enterprise, everybody get back on the camper. Yeah, where are you at?
Absolutely no traffic.
Okay, I'm right behind that.
Approaching the Springdale units right now. We're approaching you. Passing you now. Brad, are you getting involved in this? Oh, no, I think you found Lebanon. Okay.
They're going to be on you in any second. Use the space out in case they got staked out. Looks like you guys are about a mile from level to 0 where the county unit said they're set up.
4SAM22, they tried 6 at the 50/8, sticks missed. We are continuing eastbound. Sticks hit at the 52.6, continuing though east. Sticks hit on at least one, I believe.
dropping in there. canine close by that can help us if they see in this wooded area up here?
Zach, I'll go for driver, you go for passenger if they split, if you're good with that.
They just lost their whole fire here. Their whole fire going to be fresh now.
Okay, that's clear. The car's on vehicle crash. Where you at?
We're at the 54 exactly.
At the 54 Mountain.
A lot of movement in that car.
I got the
Females
driver,
open the door.
I got the driver.
Let's break down the laws that likely apply in this case under the Ohio Revised Code. First, we have failure to comply with an order or signal of a police officer. This is found at the Ohio Revised Code, section 2921.331. Now, this is a felony 3 or a felony 4. Fleeing in a vehicle and creating a substantial risk of serious harm elevates this beyond a simple traffic offense. Striking a cruiser and entering public highways at high speeds would certainly meet this threshold. This charge is punishable up to 36 months in prison. It has it's a range. It's 9 to 36 months in prison and a fine of up to $10,000. All right, moving on to criminal damaging or endangering. This is found at 2909.06. This law prohibits knowingly damaging property without consent. If someone knowingly causes damage to a police cruiser or other property, it's a minimum of a second-degree misdemeanor. That carries up to 90 days in jail and a fine of $750. Now, if the risk of harm is significant or property damage exceeds a threshold, this could be bumped up to a fifth-degree felony. And that's 6 to 12 months in prison and a fine of up to $2,500. Next, we have displaying fictitious plates. This is found at 4549.08. It's illegal to operate a vehicle displaying plates not registered to that vehicle. This is a fourth-degree misdemeanor. It carries up to 30 days in jail, a fine of $250. All right, now this charges like this, these traffic offenses, these are what lead to further investigation many times. And the false tags or the tags, the issue with the tags is what caused them to need to be stopped in the first place. All right, you also have falsification. This is found at 2921.13. If any false information is provided to officers during or after the arrest, whether about identity, ownership, or anything else, that's a first-degree misdemeanor. It carries up to 180 days in jail and a fine of $1,000. In some cases, if the falsehood is made to further a criminal offense, it can be a felony. All right, our last charge, potentially, possessing criminal tools. This is found at 2923.24. If the police discover items used to commit crimes, like altered tags, screwdrivers, GPS jammers, this could lead to this charge. It's a fifth-degree felony. It carries between 6 and 12 months in prison, a fine of up to $2,500. So, even something as small as how a tag is affixed could lead to serious consequences. Now let's shift into these 6 levels of evidentiary standards and how they apply in this case. Now we talk about these every day because they're important. This is what you need to obtain a conviction. You have to get to a certain level to arrest someone, you have to get to another level. And that's why they're important for us to know and have them very familiar in our minds. So let's start. First, you have mere suspicion. This is just a hunch. When the officer sees the vehicle sitting at the Gorilla Glue store, they might have had a gut feeling, but nothing more. Usually, this level is used to take a closer look to see if a violation is going to be occurring. We move up one level to reasonable suspicion. At this level, there's specific articulable facts that a crime may be occurring. Once that plate comes back as fictitious, then we're squarely here. Reasonable suspicion is what justifies a stop. Moving up one level, we have probable cause. This is when facts and evidence would lead a reasonable person to believe a crime has been committed and the suspect is involved. Striking the police cruiser and fleeing clearly establishes probable cause for an arrest. Moving up one more level, we have preponderance of the evidence. This is used in civil settings. It means more likely than not. It requires about 51% of the evidence in your favor in order for you to win your case. Now, in a bond hearing or a civil forfeiture hearing, that's when any property that's seized during the arrest can become property of the government. So here, that would probably be the car. This standard could apply. Moving up one more level, we have clear and convincing evidence. All right, this is a higher standard. It's also a civil standard. And this means that the evidence must be highly and substantially more likely to be true. This type of case is used when more facts are needed to prove your point. Cases like child custody cases, administrative hearings, and sometimes fraud cases. This may come into play if the driver is on probation and the state wants to revoke her probation. Now, I will say that many times probation only requires preponderance of the evidence to send somebody to prison. Okay, so don't go into a criminal proceeding thinking that a revocation is going to require that 75% of the evidence in their favor to win. All right, they're only going to need to prove 51% that you were involved in a new crime or violated your conditions. So it's not a very high burden for somebody to go to prison after they've been already convicted and they're on probation. All right, let's move up to the highest level. We have beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the highest standard and it's required in every conviction in the United States. All right, this means that there is no other reasonable alternative other than the defendant being guilty of the charges. The prosecutor will need to show various things for a conviction. The dash cam footage, the cruiser damage, the radio transmissions, all that to probably secure a guilty verdict on felony fleeing and endangerment. All right, next let's move into our jury perspective. Let's step into the role of a juror. Ask yourself, did the driver act with intent to escape from law enforcement, or was this just some uncontrolled panic that went too far? Was the danger to the officers and the public enough to warrant felony charges? Were the commands clear, and was there time to comply? Let's talk about the intuition. That gut feeling you get when you're watching somebody roll from one parking lot to another, nearly hitting officers. What does your intuition tell you about this case? As a juror, you're not just weighing the facts, you're interpreting the motive, risk, and the consequence. And your instincts, paired with the evidence, can guide you to a decision. Now remember to let me know down in the comments what your decision is on this. Guilty, not guilty. What started as a simple plate check ended in a full-blown felony pursuit through the Cincinnati suburbs. This case reminds us that small infractions sometimes trigger big consequences when poor decisions follow. The legal system responds not just to what people do, but how they respond to accountability. If you were a juror, how would you vote? Tell me in the comments. Was this reckless or was it desperate? Would you charge felony fleeing or something less? And what level of evidence do you think was met here? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more legal breakdowns. Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy, and I am Professor Ross. I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone have a good day. Stay safe out there.